Well, it's a beautiful morning indeed. How are you? And thank you very much for joining us on Look Up TV. It is 33 minutes past 8 a.m. and it is the month of love. I say that, and I will say it again confidently for everyone who's been celebrating Valentine's Day every 14th of February. When it gets to the 1st of February, we're all thinking of planting flowers. Because that's what we were told, ladies. If you want flowers by the 14th, I hope you have been planting and pruning. If not, the men's conference is also up, I am told. If it is not, gentlemen, I hope you're also watching this morning. We're live on Facebook, Look Up TV, and we're looking forward to this conversation being your conversation. All right, I have 3 panelists on set, but like I said earlier on, this is not a conversation without you hashtagging the morning drift and also letting us know what your questions and concerns are. Because it's a conversation, you can agree or disagree with either of the panelists. We are not here as, trying to actually make it clear what situationships really are in the 21st century. You're allowed to agree or disagree. But let me just say, karibuni sana.
Asante.
Wow, the smiles, the energy, it's like we've been looking forward to this. I am so honored to host you this morning for creating time and being at the, the morning drift. First, that is only the best you have done, for us this morning, and I want to appreciate Hannah. So Hannah, just say good morning. Let's start with you. Say good morning, catch up with the other people who are part of the conversation back at home.
Good morning. My name is Hannah, and I look forward to sharing my opinions on this topic.
Karibu, Anthony Njenga. These people have seen you vocal on other media stations on matters, relationships, and I think the boy child applaud you a lot. So, Karibu sana.
Asante. So my name is Anthony Njenga. I'm a counseling psychologist, and this topic, leo tuna shed light venye inafaa.
Yes,
venye inafaa.
So for a long time, people have not been doing it correctly. They've been shying away from it.
Exactly.
All right, okay. Moto Manza, Sarah, karibu sana. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. And hi guys, Sarah Mui is my name. I'm a life coach, corporate speaker and trainer, and also an author. And tonight can be relationship situation. Where are you? Relationship situationship. Where are you? We want to really make sure you know the difference, you know where we are.
Yeah, because mostly in these relationships, I know it's always the lady, but not even men ask, where are we?
Yeah.
Who are we?
Who are we?
Yeah, we've had those questions, and now the 14th of February is coming. We're trying to save you right here at the Look Up TV, the Morning Drift, breakfast show. Before you get to February, you try to figure out again, where are you? So before 14th, to go to my grandma.
Yeah.
It's been a situationship or relationship.
Yes.
Anna, we want to, begin by actually defining situationships. From where you sit.
From where I stand, situationships are basically non-defined relationships. Like, you haven't told each other where you're going, you're just hanging out. You're just having fun.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, because I feel like people don't generally get to know each other anymore. You're just drinking, having sex, but not really defining where we're going. Like, are we headed towards marriage? Are we just passing time with each other? Mm-hmm. So that to me is what a situationship is. So
they're not defined, and I so you really agree with that. We're coming to you, a life coach, and being in a situationship or a relationship, everyone wants to end up in marriage somehow. Anthony Njenga.
A situationship, I agree with what she said. It's an undefined relationship, but also a situationship is that gap or that space between a committed relationship and something that is more than friendship. That gap in between a committed relationship and something that is more than a friendship.
When you say that, my question is, why would I exist in a gap?
Because you're afraid to ask ourselves some hard questions, and also be clear on our intentions on coming together. So they are not defined intentions. So it's just about what works for us now. We are having a good time. This is working for me at the moment. But I don't see the big picture of it, So it's that fear of not being able to confront what we really want. What do you really want? What do I really want? We don't face that. Because you also don't know what the other person's intention. You don't have the courage to even ask what is it that you want, or even the courage to express what it is that you really want. Exactly. So you just don't want that moment of fun to end. You don't want it, So it ends up being a very, sticky situation, and it will end in tears.
So people are not having the conversations around it. Yes. So we are both in the gray area, but no one is willing to confront it.
It's like also friends with benefits. So we just have a thing,
All right, we just really cool. We're good. And now my curiosity is, how did we get here? What are the underlying issues? How did we get to now we're in a place where we actually have to define and talk about situationships on live television? Where did this start?
It's because we have a craving of love. All of us want love. All of us want to feel loved. We want that. All of us want that. So, and also when we're coming from places, even, previous experiences, you've been broken and what have you. So like what you get, if you get somebody gives you something, oh, you're so beautiful, this and that, you tend to hold on to that very much. Okay. There's also a desperation. It can come from a point of desperation. You're desperate for love. You really want it. So anybody who's telling you, oh, you're this, you're that, you're my this, you're my that, you assume, you make assumptions that, oh, wow, this is it. And you don't want to ask any questions, you don't want to speak about commitments, you just want to enjoy the moment because you have missed it. Yeah. It's like a drug, you have missed the drug, yeah?
It's just
high for the moment.
Yeah. So when we speak about desperation for love, I want to hear from Hannah and then from you, Anthony. I don't think you actually get that what you are desiring in a situationship. Is it about love? Again, the question from your perspective.
From my perspective, it's like, let's say you got really heartbroken. So you're in this space where you really don't want to go there again. So now you don't want to commit your feelings fully. So you want a place where you're comfortably aloof, but getting relationship type treatment without being emotionally invested. Therefore, you save yourself the heartbreak from the last time. And so this thing isn't really going anywhere. You're just here to get what you need. And that's how some of the situationships happen.
And also, Anki, most people who get into situationships in Abuangani, maybe you feel lonely, you want to enjoy the company.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it is something you want from this person.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about sex, maybe it's money. There must be something you really want from this person. It can be loneliness, it can be there's something you benefit or there's something you really want from this person. And that's where you tend to now you get a person or a partner, and you start developing those, a relationship in a relationship, but in a way, it's a situationship. How do you know GLA?
It's not emotionally there.
It's not emotionally there.
So in a relationship, that's a relationship. Yes. Let's ask now.
What I can get.
It's what I can get at the moment. But Sarah, my question is, these are young people most of the time. Yes. We're going to the older generation where people are married, they are estranged partners, but they are still in a situationship. Before we get to that, these are young people, and they are looking forward to the people who, ask on our social media platform, now that you're a life coach, could a situationship actually lead into something serious?
Yes, it can.
Okay.
It can, but the thing is, we need to have a very serious conversation. What do you want? Yes. And what do I want? And do we align? Do our visions and goals and what we want from life align? So if actually we find, we actually, really get each other, then I really like, what you do, you like what I do, then there's chemistry, then it can work. It can actually work. But then we have to be very clear, for me, this is what I want. If it's just, I say, for me, I just want to have fun right now, I'm not ready to settle, for me, this is what I want. Or for me, what I want is, I'm looking for a life partner. I'm also looking for a life partner. Let's see how, this goes, so let's try out, So, I think it can turn, but you need to be very clear on what it is that you want. Yes. And also be willing to, be selfless with yourself. If you find that if it's not working, or you really like this person, but you don't want to lose them, you need to be very selfless and say, oh no, for me, this is what I want. You've got to put your interests first. This is what I want. This is what can work for me. I can't compromise on it. I can't compromise on it. I have my principles. If you respect that, then fine. If not, then just let it go.
So if you respect it, I'm coming to you, Anthony, then we can move this to the next level.
Yes.
Yes.
There was a gap you mentioned, Anthony.
Yes.
And I'm looking at situationships going into something serious, but it's been that gap, and I feel it's detrimental when there's no emotions involved. At what point do we say, now this is serious? How is it working for us with, at the beginning, even the intention of beginning the situationship itself was a shaky foundation?
Anki, if I can start, I agree with what Sarah said. And the problem is that situationships, most of the time we get to find ourselves in situationships wakati tumeenda ile extreme deep in that relationship with this person. Ile kabisa umekuwa into it. But one thing we need to say here, and we need to make it clear is that before you even start any form of relationship, be it even a friendship, make it clear, what do you really want with me? What do I really want with you?
Okay.
It has to start from there, Anki. Because if you don't define what you really want, then it will be a challenge. You'll get to utakuwa close sana wakati may get serious.
You're attached.
And itakuwa very, one thing, Anki, also, people in situationships find it a challenge to come out of the relationship, situationship.
Okay.
Because of their attachment. They are so attached into that person. But what I'd like to tell you is that it's better you know what you want, because imagine huyu mtu mwenye kona wewe ako hapo tu na wewe kwa sababu ya kitu fulani. It's not what you need. You need someone who will love you, will support you for who you are, but not somebody who will be there for you for a moment or for something that maybe yeye mwenyewe atakuji. Another thing, Anki, I'd like to tell you.
Yes.
This statement most people in situationships use is, I love you, but I think I'm not ready to be in a relationship.
Let's come with that. We're going to come back with, I love you, but I think I'm not ready to be in a relationship. Yes. I said this is a month of love, but do we still define love the same way in this 21st century? Right after this short break, the big conversation continues. You are watching The Morning Drift.
just love the sex with this person. So from then mnaendelea tu kunini to have sex, just that. It's so sad, eh?
And a good relationship. A good relationship is where you and your partner are kind of friends. You know, like kuna communication inaendeleanga, mnaelewana, like active listening and active speaking. Those are 2 points of good communication.
Okay.
So if you're not an active listener, I'm talking about we need gas. Kai 3 days hakuna gas, alafu anza kumpigia makelele, hakuna chakula.
Yeah.
Was that in a relationship?
Exactly. So active communication is only works when there's active listening.
Okay.
Now, Komba, this is my problem, and then you work to solve it, or you help me solve it.
Oh, nice. So this is the part where we're going to be talking about the signs you're in a Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. You're watching the big conversation on Lookup TV. And if you've been following the conversation so far, it's about situationships in the 21st century. And a very timely conversation because we're approaching Valentine's. A lot of people, they say, I've been caught in the loop. One of my panelists has said there's a gap. You're probably in a gray area. If you've had gray areas for a long time, you probably want to understand what this conversation is about and where it's headed. Welcome back, Sarah, Njenga, and Hannah. Of course, you're also Hannah and Njenga. And we have already laid the foundation, and we've said this is where we've come from. This is what it means, you know, when we say situationship. But somebody watching back at home is probably now asking, okay, like you said, it wears the clothing of a relationship. It really isn't a relationship. So we want to understand what then are the signs that I am really in a situationship. Maybe we could start from Sarah. Yes.
Yes. So there are many ways you can tell you're in a situation. It's not a relationship. It's just a situation.
Yes.
You know. And one way is that first of all, you'd never speak about long-term plans.
Yes.
It's just about uko ready. Situende hivi. Inawezatokea hivi. It's just that, you know, and you have to rush the other person and hope that, you know, they make it work. So you never talk about long-term plans. What do you want to do with your life? Even asking those kind of hard questions. For me, it's just about now, you know, it's about now. So you never speak about plans, you never really plan together, things together. So it means me, I make my plans and then you have to come in and, you know, someone always calls you last minute. Always last minute. It is possibly because they call another person, they are not available, so you're the, you know,
backup.
So they call it, yeah, you're the backup. So
wow.
if that's a kind of, you are always last minute, last thought. Just know that person is not with you. It's really not with you. They just for the moment and what they can get from you. That's one of the ways, you know.
That's the one that stood out for you. I don't know, Anthony, from your psychological aspect.
From my psychological aspect, there are three ways, three major ways, three main ways in which you can get to know this is a situationship. Number one, Anki, if your partner has never asked you out on a date.
Oh.
Yes, your partner's never asked you on a date anytime. Most of the time you just spend, maybe unamdrop job, unamdrop shule, maybe you walk to the supermarket, unaenda kwa shop. Your partner, you've never even gone to any formal date. You know, if it's a relationship, it has to be formal. You have to at least go to a date or something, explain how you feel for this person. Mm-hmm. That's the first way you can know this what we have right now is a situationship. Number two, kuna watu wenye partners, they don't like being seen together in public, together. So most of the things they do separately. Unapata anasema mimi sitaki tuende na wewe pamoja, sitaki tukue pamoja kila mahali. Let's keep it private. Wasijue tuna date ikiwa chini ya maji. Unaona? Ataki you do things separately. Hakuna mahali mnaenda pamoja. That's also another way you can get to know this is a situationship. Another way, I agree with what Sarah said. You don't talk about the long-term goals, the future, you know. Most of the time conversation yenu ni leo sasa tunaenda kutry which, let me not finish. Leo, what are we going to try, you know? It's all about sex, it's all about, at least leo nitumia 10,000. It's about something. You never talk about the long-term goals. What do we have? What is this, you know?
Okay.
Yes, I'd say those three. If you have those three, they would really help to know if this is a situationship.
Please also, I'm coming to you, Hannah, let us also know back at home if you have certain signs you've been picking and you're not very sure what these signs mean to you in your relationship. Just talk to us on Facebook and we will be able to also walk with you and figure out if it's probably just a misunderstanding or really a standing point on you are in a situationship. Okay, Hannah, what stands out for you as signs that someone is in a situationship?
Situationships are very one-sided sometimes. So you could be hanging out with your boyfriend, alafu akwambia ule mwenye atakuoa atakuwa lucky. You're like, wow. Excuse me?
So you
have to be clear, you have to listen.
Yeah, you have to be very, read between the lines. Because hanging out is all well and good, you know.
Yeah.
But acha mkwe mmeongea kuhusu where this is going, because sometimes that's all you need. That's all you wanted, a situationship. You know, if you discuss this as two people at the beginning, like, I'm not willing to be emotionally invested. I just want to have fun, and both of you agree on that. So,
the first communication.
Yeah. And getting out of a situationship isn't too hard, because maybe after you get out, you dial down back to friendship. Now that's absolutely impossible, especially if no emotions are involved. Like, Miss Jolly, I don't care about you. But so it would be very unfair to do that to an unsuspecting partner.
Oh yes,
no.
Yes.
But if it's something communicated, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. And communication is a big deal here.
And when you talk about something communicated, it's fine. We're going to come to look at what this actually does to you when you have communicated and have chosen that path. There are consequences and implications. We're coming to that, Sarah. And you mentioned something about communication. There's a way people communicate in relationships.
Yes.
You talked about active listening, etc. Maybe you want to touch on that again.
How communication should work is active speaking and active listening. If I tell you this thing is wrong, I expect you to maybe help me fix it, fix it for me, or maybe, I don't know, just know each tunaendelea. Okay, it's like telling someone, gas imesha kwa nyumba, and then 3 days zimeenda hajanunua gas, but then anapiga kelele, hakuna chakula.
And this is...
The math is not nothing. The math is not nothing. Sir, I told you this is the issue. Okay, so I feel like in a lot of what's going on right now, we communicate, we talk, but the person we're talking to isn't actively listening.
Exactly.
You know,
there's a disconnect.
Yeah, you tell someone, my love language is physical touch. Physical touch is hold my hand, hug me, cuddles, blah, blah, blah. They do nothing towards that end. You become frustrated, you're dissatisfied, fights begin.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes.
And it's a cycle.
And it's a cycle.
A relationship should be healthy.
Yes.
You're a life coach, you're a change management, coach,
Consultant, yes.
Consultant. I should be happy. You know, if I'm dating Cliff, for example, I should be happy. I should grow. I should blossom.
Yes.
I should glow, ladies. Yes. But this is instigated war, probably Cold War. So we have talked about these are the signs, but you said communication is fine. So I've communicated with my boyfriend and I decided, well, I would want to be emotionally invested, neither do you. So we want to do this. What does this situationship actually do to me as a person? Is it positive?
No, it's not.
It could be.
Well, yes and no. Let me say yes and no. But on the part where we say yes, that I'm comfortable with this, and you're comfortable with that. That's why I'm comfortable with not really emotionally investing, but we can get, first of all, it messes your mentors,
Exactly. Yes.
and also blurs what a relationship is to you, So you start creating a picture of a relationship is if I'm getting what I want for the moment, that's it, if I'm satisfied and, I'm okay with, I don't care about the other person, if I can be able to get this, it really messes your mentals on what really a true and good and healthy relationship should be. Okay. So you're messing up with your mentals, first of all, and your psychology as well, and how you look at people as well.
Yes.
So it really messes up with you. It's really not a good thing. Yeah. So I know maybe you've been heartbroken in the past, and you feel like, for me, I think relationship, as long as I can get sex, that's it. And I know very many people, by the way, who have been there. For me, I'll never get married again because this man did this to me. This man is, the D word, we can call them and what have you. I never get married again as long as I'm getting this. First of all, you've already messed up your mentors, and even the children that you're raising, there's a high chance that, they start seeing marriage and relationships as a whole different thing, and something that's not really good for them, something that's not really healthy, and they end up in the same predicament, possibly, that you are in. So it's not a really good thing. You can say it works for you because there are temporary benefits you will get, but in the long term, you have messed up for yourself and the way you look at things. So in any situationships, they're not healthy. They're not really healthy. Yeah. So if like we have said the telltales, the other thing I wanted to add is somebody only compliments you on your body, how you look, the calves, the what have you, the biceps. They'll never ask you about, Doris, like, what's really your vision? What's your vision in life? What do you want to do? Your business, how is it doing? How is your career going? How is your work? Nothing. You never get that kind of talk. It's just about your body, how you look, or your whatever, your face, whatever. There's nothing else, and that's a compliment you can get from anywhere in the streets. It's a street person. It's somebody who they don't want to know what you want to do with your life because they don't want to be in it. This is what I can get from it.
That really does hurt. They don't want to know what's going on in your life because they don't want to be in it.
Yes.
You are a counseling psychologist, and a lot of times we see a lot of people broken, even to the levels of depression, because now they're second guessing themselves. For some researchers, it's come out that situationships can actually have you in a cycle of abuse.
Yes.
What does situationships actually do to a person? Let's talk about the men as well, because men tend to think it's the women who are more affected, because it's like women are also pushing for relationships more. But this does affect men as well.
Anki, thank you so much for that question. Psychologically, men, let me talk about men. A man who is in a situationship, maybe later on haijaenda vizuri, this man wouldn't want to get into any other relationship. Atakuwa na ile negative perspective of a lady, and a man, mwanaume na ego yake. So you imagine you in this situationship, lakini you as a man, you thought this lady loves you, but maybe this lady doesn't love you, alikuwa nakupendea juu you are good in bed or something like that. It will mess you up as a man. It will put you in a state that you won't trust any lady easily. That's why, trust you me, Anki, most men, a high percentage of men wanakuanga na uoga ya kudate ama ya kuingia into a relationship. That's why nasikia men's conference. It's not bad to be a man. It's not bad to have your single life, but wanaume wako na ile fear cause of their ego. Men naturally ego yao inakuanga juu. So if you lower whatever that man had thought of you or thought of that relationship, then trust you me, it will be very difficult for this man to get into any other relationship. Itamweka in a state that atakuwa depressed.
Anthony, I'm sorry to interject. Is this where we're seeing a generation of men who are not looking forward to marriage?
Yes,
absolutely. As we're speaking in Nairobi, it's always, how is your baby mama?
Exactly.
You're good.
Exactly. A high percentage of men actually, they prefer, if you're dating, if I'm having a thing with you, it's either acha nikupatie mtoto na mimi nikuwe tuna co-parent. There's no, tusikuwa na anything. But it shouldn't be that way, in this generation, men are afraid to get into a serious relationship because of the fact that men need respect, Anki.
Okay.
And if you disrespect me to a point that you tell me that I was in this relationship or I was doing this with you or this situationship with you because of your money or of your how good you are in bed, then how will it make me feel? Ata feel ni kama I am siwezi offer love. Am I less of a man? Other men are marrying, other men are doing this and that with their ladies, couple goals and everything. But Mimi, am I less of a man?
Okay.
Yes. So it can mess up a man.
So there's so many men in this situation. We've been looking at why we say empower the man. let the man take his rightful position in society, but it's been the same society pushing the man away from taking his role, from what I'm hearing from you. We've broken them in situationships.
Yes.
Hannah, even as we get into now the solution of coming out of it, you want to share with us, some of, what the other panelists were talking about, just, I don't know, it's really heavy. When I heard what Anthony said, it really got heavy because he was talking about the boy child, so I took a moment there. But just walk us through now. I am in this. This is where I'm at. I cannot get out of it because most of situationships, as we're saying, people hardly break off them. I think that's a reality. People don't break off. It's a cycle. People don't understand when like swako to
Kids together.
They do names, you have kids together. Do people ever get out of situationships? Is it even possible to break off?
I think it is possible to get out of a situationship, but with the way it has reshaped your thinking, now it becomes harder to get into a real relationship. It's hard to trust that this person's interest will align with yours for a long time because you're so used to short spans or short-lived things. My mom always says, she's a psychologist, and she's always taught me that these short things, they wire your brain to only get used to the short things. You are unable to go past what you're used to. Exactly. You only want to stay for the novelty of something. Once the newness ends, you're out. Once the thrill of meeting this new person ends, once they're not new anymore, you suddenly start to lose interest.
Yeah.
So getting out of a situationship isn't that hard. According to me. I don't know about other people because, like I said, if this situationship was something communicated between you two, that this is only what I can give you and this is all I want from you, then once it's over, it's easy, does it? It's no love lost, clean cut. But then now getting into a real relationship where there are actually life goals, him asking you about what investments he should make, because I feel like, yes, we have a lot to offer in terms of looks, but if we're building a life together, then our financial decisions have to kind of sync up. Like this is how much money we have, what would be the best route to take. Unajua si tunaenda uko na pesa zako mingi, yes, but kama tunapanga familia, you need to ask me what we should do. I need to ask you what your plans are, So now that we need, when you're trying to get into a situation where you share just more than a bed and a few laughs, it gets tricky and scary.
Anthony?
I'd say getting out of a situationship isn't that easy and isn't that hard. Because there are ways you can get out of a situationship. There are ways.
Yes.
Number one way, if you're watching this up, if you're maybe seeing and you're right now, maybe you're doing a self-assessment of yourself and you're looking at that relationship of yours and you're like, I think this is a situationship that you're having. Number one way, you need to look at things. Do you know what you want? Do you know what you wanted before you started this relationship? Was it the sex you wanted? Was it the money you wanted? Or was it the love? Did you want the love, the going out? What a relationship is based on, or was it just about maybe the money or the sex? Do you know what you want? That's the first thing you need to know. Number two, one thing you need to know if you want to come out of a situationship is, how have you defined your relationship? At least once in a uliza partner wako, this is a challenge. If maybe you don't know, you're in that situation, you don't know where you guys are in that relationship that you're in, ask your partner, what are we? Babe, what are we? Akikwambia aanze kusema those are red flags. Akianza hajui kenye anataka. So meaning yeye tu alikuwa anataka tu kuwa na wewe because of something. So what are we? Then after umetoka kwa defining your relationship, number three, the thing you need to know is ask yourself, or after knowing now, sasa umejua sisi ni maybe we are friends, or maybe we are having a thing together. Number three, don't take any excuse.
All right.
Never take any excuse. Vile nilikuwa nasema, mtu anakuambia I love you, but I think I'm not ready to be in a relationship. In every I love you, but I think I'm not ready to be in a relationship. There's always at the end with you. So indirectly, these people are trying, I'm going to try to say, I love you, but I think I'm not ready to be in a relationship with you.
So are we misusing the word love?
Yes.
Yes, so much.
Yes.
People don't really know what is love. What is love to you? Maybe this is a question you need to ask yourself. What is love? Is love just a feeling or something dakika kidogo alafu inaisha? Is that love to you? You need more than that. You need a person who supports you, who takes care of you, who calls you, checks up on you. Unajua mimi nasemanga hivi, Anki, there's nothing like upon telling you I am busy. As much as you're busy, hata kama uko kwa meeting, at the end of the meeting, at least check up. Umepata missed call yangu, call me back. Tell me I was in a meeting.
About the normal relationship.
Yes. Yeah. Communicate, because communication is the basis, the foundation of every functional relationship.
Amazing.
So the fourth thing, the last thing on how you can really try and get out of a relationship is take a bold step. If you find out hizo vitu zote, hizo red flag zote, after umejua what you want na ukajua maybe huyu partner wako alikuwa anataka kitu fulani, then ukakuja ukadefine a relationship and ukaona yenyewe partner wako ama maybe hii relationship ni situationship, then umetake no for usitake any excuse like mtu akikwambia I love you but I think I'm not ready to be in a relationship or something like that. Take a bold step. You can leave. Kuna watu wanasemanga they won't leave. It will be challenge to leave this situationship because I think I might change their mindset. Maybe
I might convince them otherwise. They'd learn to love me.
But Anki, pain, as much as it is so tough and difficult, pain is something that you can get over it with time. Yes, I'd say those are the main things.
Yes.
And probably they're fighting, people are in denial as we're speaking.
Exactly.
A lot of memes are coming up, Sarah. We're all on social media. When Valentine comes and people start bringing out memes and TikTokers are saying Valentine is coming, where's your boyfriend?
You are sitting at home lonely.
Yes. And people are laughing about these things and children are watching them. And I'm looking at, as of course you keep talking about how to come out of them, you'll also touch on where this is putting the generation that we're raising.
Yes. Okay, then let me say, your question was,
how
can
to
get out?
Yes.
Out. Yeah, for me, I'd say it can be hard, but it can also be easy. It can be hard because we don't want to confront the hard questions, like I said, and ask ourselves, what do I really want? What do I really want for myself? And sometimes you have to really put yourself first and say, no, for me, it's either I'm respected, I'm getting respect, I'm getting love, I'm getting, what else do we want? We want respect, we want growth, we want somebody who's concerned, genuinely cares for you. It's either I'm getting that or not. And also make sure you're also giving the same, because if you're coming here, you also just want what you can get from me. Even, the other person will also look what I can get from you. So I think it's not much of what I get, it's also what you give. What are you giving yourself? You attract who you are, by the way. Most of the time, you will attract who you are. So if you are a kind person, caring, you're the empath, you're caring, loving, and all that, but you don't get it in return at all, then it's time to make hard decisions. That no, it's not working for me. This is disrespect, and I won't allow it in my life. And so we have to be able to make the hard choices and hard decisions, and you hurt yourself, but it's for the longer. It's for, as he says, pain will end with time. It will end with time. Yes. So I think it can, if we confront that. For me, I don't think you're really. And by that, it's very good to have conversation. A lady was telling me that they were not. I think they were also in a situationship. But the guy would no. Is this a gap when I've asked you out and then you are praying about it, or you are like
thinking about.
But the guy would keep saying, for me. It's just they're joking, So for me, if I give you like, 1K or something like that, I'll make sure I'll get as much, And it's just like a funny conversation we are having. But then she had it about 3 times, that if I get something if I give you something, like if it's money or what, I'll make sure I get millions or something like that. So she had it like 3 times, and I told her, so you have been able to observe all that. What it means is that this person is telling you that anything he puts in you, even that lunch he's buying you, you make sure you pay for it, So he looks at it as a transaction. It's like an investment, then get out.
Sarah, I know you want us to continue to the next question, but something just, caught my attention as you were speaking. We've been highlighting, especially in the media, which we would want to do less of, stories of homicides for as recent as last week and even yesterday. Their estranged partners, there's a woman who took her life and that of her 3 children. There is the aspect of Mkate na shoka, some very difficult things to say on media, and men push the other men to say, you cannot pay fees for her. And she walks out on you, all right? And these are conversations that we have every day, and we're looking at reducing these numbers of homicides. And my question is, could this be an underlying issue? Because...
You see, we say that things don't end up wrong, they start wrong.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they start wrong. That's why we are saying never assume anything that you hear even somebody saying, and things they do, like we say, red flags. Never assume. You know? Yes, because, and then also let me say this, don't let that your appreciation is like your credibility, it comes from, or validation comes from somebody else, because he doesn't love. Maybe it can be a situation of you are like, you have your 3 kids, this man goes out, he has other women and all that, and then all of a sudden you decide you do what?
Take your life?
Yes, so I think it's important that first of all we value ourselves, and you know that you're the most important person in your life. So as you take care of the kids and you take care of this man, make sure you're also okay. Make sure you take care of yourself as well. And we have this, about women a lot. Someone just took, I'm a life coach, and I get women coming to me at 45. Sarah, I don't know who I am. I don't know where to start. I have lived for my children, for this man. And, for me, I don't know where do I start? Figure me out. It's like I say, figure me out, So make sure you're taking care of yourself, first of all. First of all, are you happy?
Your peace of mind.
Yes, your peace of mind. And it will not come from the husband, it will not come from your kids. You have to create that for yourself. Let me say your relationship with God is very important. At this time, you're getting to a point where you even want to take your life, that you have even forgotten about God, the way He has protected you, carried you all along. So we usually take it to the Lord in prayer. Whatever it is, the situation, don't forget God. Don't forget that. And I think if we focus on that, you can be able to be strong in your, you're strong in your spirit. Let me tell you, you can go through anything, you can overcome anything, and it doesn't matter the kind of heartbreak this man has done to you, you can always find comfort, in God. So I think as we get there to the point of, Omi said, you've even forgotten about God, you've forgotten about your people, you forgot for a man. So you punish, you take your life and his children to punish him. You're the one who end up suffering at the end of the day. So don't forget God as well.
Don't forget God. And I know we are coming to the close of this conversation. So if you are following us closely, we are headed that direction where we're looking at now. What next? And Anthony, it's very, very important that we look at the psychological aspect that we're doing to the next generation. Trust me, I meet a lot of young people, as young as 11, 14, but they have the same mindset as what we're discussing this morning. Situationships. Men, the young boys say, women are a lot of work, just want money. And the young ladies say, well, my dad wasn't even present at the time. I mean, you just can't bring the food because men feel financial provision for that single mother is his presence. But the children see when parents are intimate. That is what people don't also know. So they're a bit confused. How can we either counter this? What can we do differently for this generation? How are we handling ourselves through these situationships that is detrimental?
Where I can start is one thing, Anki, people need to appreciate the fact that every decision you make in this life is you who makes the decision. So as much as you feel lonely, as much as you feel you want somebody to be there for you or to provide something for you, at the end of the day, you need to look at your happiness. Your peace of mind comes first. And also, Anki, talking about that, we are heading to the Valentines. Yes. And there's one message I'd like to tell you who is watching right now. It is not wrong to be single. Nobody has ever died single. It is better you be single than you be in a relationship where you're facing all kinds of drama and issues. It's better you be single than being in a relationship where you're not happy. A relationship where you're stressed, you're depressed, you're wondering what time will he come, what time will she come, what time, who are they with? It is not bad to be single. So, hata kama unaambiwa about a month ago Valentine is coming and all that, don't have that pressure. You need pressure too. It's okay. Appreciate yourself being single. Because you came to this life alone. Ulizaliwa peke yako. You know, every decision you made is just you made that decision. Hakuna mtu mwenye alikusomea. Ulipita mitihani peke yako. Hii life paka mahali umefika. It's all about you. So your happiness, your peace of mind comes first. Let nobody come in between that. So don't feel like, hey, in the 14th, ina come through 2022. It's my like 3 years, my third year, my fourth year, my first year being single, and I'm like, my friends, all of my friends are dating. All of my friends are in a relationship. Niko na pressure. Don't have that pressure. Take your time. It is better you have peace of mind that you want always or have wanted to have than having stress. So this 21st century, one thing in this 21st century, in this relationship aspect, we need to change that, Hanky.
Okay.
We need to tell people and educate people, educate people that it's okay to be single. It is better than being in a chaos relationship. That's where, you know most people get situationship. Watu wengi wanaingia kwa situationship kwa sababu ya kitu fulani, as we just said. But if we imagine, are you happy being in that situationship? Because it's your heart, it's you who is getting hurt. It's you who will be depressed. They won't be depressed. They don't care about you. At the end of the day, it's about you. That's where we should start the conversation from. So how we can change this 21st century, that aspect, all of it, is knowing and realizing that it's okay to be single.
And then just to add,
Yes.
just to add on that, I usually say this: never feel jealous because someone, maybe a friend, have something that you want that you don't have. By the way, things are not always as they seem. So you're looking at social media at this time, you're seeing people with their boyfriends.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. I'm telling you, don't even feel jealous, or you feel like, oh, like I need to do this so that I'm also like them. Things are not always as they look, by the way. So even when you see two people holding hands in the streets, you don't know maybe the kind of fight that happened, the other night. Somebody is crying every night. We've been in such relationships. You cry every night. Every day of that relationship is wahala after wahala. Never feel. By the way, it's okay to be single, enjoy, be happy.
Be happy. Take yourself out of this one.
You guys are emphasizing on it's okay to be single.
Yes.
And enjoy. Someone actually said, if you want to cut weight, be in a relationship with the wrong person. Being in a relationship with the wrong person is actually the situationship we're talking about. If they're not right for you, it's not heading anywhere. Now here I have Malon on Facebook saying being in a situationship is like working for exposure. I don't know what she means by that. Do you understand?
I do. Okay. As a designer, you go for those jobs and they're like, we don't have a budget for paying for these clothes, but we'd really like to take photos of your clothes. I mean, natumia fare kukuja. At lunch hamnipi. So it's like working for exposure. It's hauna benefits una get.
Exactly.
Ni tu napeana service yako na you're rendering services for nothing.
And this is actually breaking you. By the time you're actually losing your value when you look at it from that perspective.
Yes.
If you're a good mistress of ceremony, you're always working for exposure, but you have to dress and go. It's draining.
You have to do makeup. And nobody's paying for that, and you're using all your resources and getting nothing in return.
So I want to hear from you, Hannah. After all this is said and done, so many young, beautiful women, and we are saying it's okay to be single. How do you carry out yourself single? Because for the women, I don't know if this works with the men as well, they feel that situationships are actually the dating scene. It's not courtship. People feel, I am not jumping around, no, I'm not an escort, I am just dating. We're saying be single, but we're not saying be single and don't interact, right?
Exactly.
So that's another confusing sport. So what do you have to say about staying single and discipline?
What I have to say is first know what you want, exactly what you want in detail, Like we get bashed for outlining what kind of man we want, right? When we say tall, dark and handsome or someone who's financially stable, we get bashed for that a lot. But if you're being realistic, you don't want to date someone who is broke.
I don't know. I thought you would find something in the truth. But you can continue.
I'm not saying being broke is a bad thing. All I'm saying is date within your standards.
Yes.
Unajua?
Yes.
Usinikujie na hizo pesa zako kidogo alafu uanze kuniambia nishukisha standards. Tafadhali no.
Talking of that, nimekumbuka.
Tafadhali hapana.
Talking of that,
You guys have a moment.
Talking of that, I agree. Actually, it's true. One thing, men, let me talk to the men. I mean, this is something I repeat. Kindly, please. Kindly, take your time and listen to this. If you're a man and you want this lady, ama there's some lady you want, be genuine with what you really want. Don't go there flaunting how rich you are na unajua kabisa hauna
magari
kila kitu. Be genuine. That's where now most men inakuwa challenge. You know, you've met this beautiful girl, this girl of your dreams, this girl you want to have a life with, but now umeenda pale na ile, you know, I can take you to this and this place, you know, I can travel with you all over the country, but you know you cannot afford that. Si lazima upeleke. Let me tell you something, if you're listening to this. Si lazima upeleke date an expensive restaurant. Just do around your standard. Mwambie, you know what, I think I can afford a restaurant, maybe you can eat chips ya kitu 200 ama some food ya 200. Si lazima umwambie, as much as this lady anaka ako expensive. Na kama huyu dem ako sawa kukuwa na wewe, because at the end of the day, hata kama hayuko sawa kukuwa na wewe, you will meet someone who is ready to be with you.
Exactly.
You are genuine.
Exactly. So what we're saying here is there's been a lot of manipulation in play, a lot of insincerity in play. Yes. I want to take another very short break because it's getting even hotter. I thought my director was going to wrap up the conversation, but we're coming back with a lot more right here on the big conversation. We're talking about situationships, and as much as it looked like a light conversation, it really is something that is causing a lot of havoc and changing our lives, shaping our next generations in certain ways that when you have a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old, people say, hey, generation ya kina nani, what are you wana? Have you had that question before? Let us know your comments. We'll be right back. You're watching the big conversation. And ultimately, just what are the last words from the panelists to you?